Shane McGUIGAN, Daniel Dubois' new trainer. Firstly, how's it going? You've had one fight with him, but you didn't really have very long with him. You've got a bit longer with him now. How's your relationship with Daniel Dubois going?
Yeah, very good. He's settling into the gym well. We've got some big characters in the gym. We've got Anthony Fowler, Lawrence Okoli, Chris Smith. These guys are big characters, and you would think with someone with Daniel's nature being quite quiet, he can get sort of overpowered. But no, he's given as good as he's getting. He's sort of blending in well. He's happy. He seems to be smiling. So, and obviously from a boxing standpoint, I believe he's really improving.
Obviously, he's doing rounds with Lawrence Okoli. That happened before at the Peacock Gym. He was doing a few bits with him. Chris Smith now involved as well. Are you seeing the improvements? This whole iron sharpens iron thing going on?
Yeah, I think so. It'd be interesting to see what everyone else thinks whenever it come August 29th. So I've seen him spar. Him and Lawrence is quite. I put some conditions on the spar so they don't go all guns blazing. But I've seen him spar today against a big Kazakh guy that's boxed at the WSB. So he's a really decent standard of opponent, and Daniel's looking really sharp. So. I've got high hopes with Daniel. I think he's really adapting well. He's moving his head more. He's changing his levels. He's changing up the speed and power, because before everything was one paced a little bit, and he was sort of leaving his head in the pocket. But yeah, I'm excited to see what people think about the improvements.
And as a trainer, this is a hell of a project for you to get. I mean, it feels like you've got a 23-year-old heavyweight, only one defeat, splashes everyone, knocks them all out. He's ready-made, and you can really put your stamp on him somewhat. What's it like?
He's not necessarily ready-made, but he's got power. He's got lots of ability, but he was lacking a lot of things. And at the top level, when he wants to be an elite fighter, he wants to win a world title. He wants to beat the creme de la creme. You have to take all the measures to do that. You can't just get away with bad habits. So it's going to be. It's not just an overnight process. It's not even the fact that when he turned pro with certain bad habits as well. You just, as a coach, you just need to continually make him aware of what he's doing wrong. So he's starting to get it, but it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to be a slower process. But I'm pretty impressed with what I'm seeing up until now.
How teachable is he?
Very teachable. I did some work with Joyce in the past before the Commonwealth Games. Joe and I. We had discussions after the Olympics, and my reservations were that he wasn't as coachable. He was using his physicality to get to win fights, and you can do that to potentially even win a gold medal. But the real top 3-4 heavyweights, they're better than that, and they'll either nail you for your mistakes, and that's why I was really excited about Daniel, because I think he is really adaptable. He's really coachable, but it's not just putting him in those positions. He needs to be able to be aware of where he's lingering, why he's getting hit with certain shots, and that just takes time and good quality sparring.
How far can he go?
I think he can be the number one heavyweight in the world. After watching him spar today, I really believe it. Whether he'll get the guys like AJ and Fury and stuff before they retire, I'm not too sure. But he's the star in the future for sure.
Is a Joe Joyce rematch on your mind? That was the last fight he had before he joined you. No doubt you'd have watched that fight back and you'd have thought maybe he should have done this, maybe he should have done that. Is that something you're looking to pursue?
I think so. I think it's a fight that he has to have. He has to iron out those sort of doubts. We don't want him to be 50 years of age looking back on his career and saying, "Oh yeah, but you didn't beat Joe Joyce." If he beats him, then it kiboshes it. And it was a close fight up until the eye. It was a very competitive fight, and I think Joe boxed really well. Daniel not so much. He was fighting out of himself. He was getting tired. He was getting reckless. But he needs one or two more fights, and then we should take that fight, because I believe it's a fight that he has to have to move on.
Well, it's a different Joe on August 29th. Joe Casamano. What do we know about him?
Tough and durable, and he can bang a bit. So got reasonably fast hands. I've seen some footage of him. These are the banana skins of boxing. Sometimes you can take your eye off the ball and just look forward towards Trevor Bryant and all the bigger names and just say, all right, I'm going to go out there and put on a show. And he's standing there after 4 rounds, and you've sort of Why is he still here? So we have to be sharp. We have to be trained like he's like this guy's coming to win, and I actually believe he will come to win. This is his world title fight, and he has he's got 3 losses and he's never been stopped. So we've got to be quite selective with our punch output.
And how are you feeling about being part of this whole Jake Paul against Tyron Woodley card? A lot of people have a lot of views on it, but no doubt it will make noise, right?
Huge noise, and actually I think it's a great thing because it's a really competitive fight. It's a fight that I actually would be interested in seeing, even though I'm not a YouTube fan or didn't watch the Mayweather versus Logan Paul fight, but I'd be much more inclined to watch this one because it's a competitive fight. I think Woodley's a smaller man, but he's got more experience and he can actually bang a bit. So Askren was just a wrestler. I don't know enough about MMA and all that malarkey, but I knew that Askren was terrible as a stand-up, whereas I think Woodley's got something about him.
And it feels like on the other half of the card there is a build towards Tommy Fury against Jake Paul. Just wanted to get your thoughts on that before I let you go. Good fight. How do you see it going?
Yeah, I mean, once again we won't know. Let's see how Tommy Fury's been boxing journeyman, but we don't know how good he is. I think he'll probably have a lot more. He's a lot more capable than what he showed today. But we're still going to have to see how does he deal when he gets hit with a hard shot around the side of the head. Can he overcome it? It's in his DNA, so I'm sure he can. But Jake Paul's also got to get past Woodley first. Do you know what I mean? So it'll be interesting. But hopefully that's a fantastic fight down the line. And once again, it's a fight that, even though it's not necessarily at the top level of boxing, it's still an incredibly interesting fight.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, Shane, I'll let you go. Nice to speak to you as always, and I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot more of you.
Cheers, Dad. Thanks, mate.